like using Scyther, Hitmonchan, and Magmar to destroy Ronald and embarrass him in front of the world. So are the games of our lives. Listen, you gotta use the best cards when the game gives them to you, because these are the games of our lives.
Super Mario and Pokemon and all the games that took us to another place and made us want to keep playing all night. These are the games of our lives.
Welcome everybody to the Games of Our Lives podcast, a podcast about the video games we played that make us the gamers who we are today. My name is Bill, and today I am joined by the wonderful, the amazing, perhaps father of the year, Matt, and a special guest on top of that. We have got the young gun here. We've got Tyler, just a Poke fanatic, joining us on the podcast as well. Welcome on in.
Oh man, if you're a Pokemon fanatic, what Pokemon would you have? Oh wait, it's in your gamer tag. That's easy.
Yeah.
What is
have
it?
A team of 6 Poipole.
Yep. It would be full Poipole, 1 Mimikyu, and 1 Naganadel.
Okay.
Ooh, Mimikyu is a pretty rad Pokemon, so I like that. I like that. So, what are we talking about this week? Matt, please fill us in.
The Pokemon trading card game. Although it originally started as just the one for the Game Boy Color, we kind of evolved it to be just the trading card game in general. Because there's some pretty sick cards. I mean, like, you know, there's we got some of those here. So, wait,
for the video listeners, or for the audio listeners,
that's a Mabosstiff.
He's holding up a Mabosstiff. For the video listeners, the green screen is failing him hard.
Yeah, it's trying its best, but it's not. Its best is not very good. Hold on.
So, Tyler, what are your thoughts on the Pokemon trading card game? While we've got you here, I know you're a busy man.
Well, are we talking about Pocket or are we talking about TCG?
I'm going to say the floor is yours. You can give us your thoughts on both if you'd like.
Pocket, I really like the idea of it, but there are some things that need to be worked on. Like the trade system, I think they might want to add like a lobby where you can like have open trades so you can trade with other people instead of just friends, so some new players can make some decks.
Sure.
We need to hire him to Pokemon.
Listen, he's got more nuance than 99% of the people that I've read about this game online. Like, Reddit take notes is all I'm saying.
I just started Pokemon Pocket since I just got a phone. I have gotten a couple of good cards that are in some decks that have helped me run games that I've traded with friends. Yeah, I think overall Pocket's a very good game. They designed it pretty well.
What is your favorite card from Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket?
That's a hard one.
Incineroar? That was the one you made the first deck for.
Yeah, I really like the Rainbow Rare Incineroar EX.
That's a cool card.
I got it in one of my first packs that I opened on Pocket.
Oh, wow.
I have only been opening packs from the newest set since I just started.
Sure.
So, don't have that many decks. I think I have 3 decks, which are not the best.
Hey, the more you open packs, the better cards you're going to end up getting. And listen, you only have about 9 more days until a new set drops, so that's plenty of time to get the rest of the cards.
Wait, did they announce another set?
I think the 29th, yeah. They'll be dropping a set. Don't raise your arms and shake your head at me. I'm not the one dropping these sets, good sir.
Also, one more thing about Pocket. I feel like they release too many sets too fast. They make one like every month, which is way too fast.
I think it's the perfect speed for a mobile game, and that's kind of why it's tough to balance something like TCG Pocket. just because like the power creep is already moving very quickly, and cards that were good when the game first launched are now not as good less than 6 months later.
There's a couple of cards that got better though, which is crazy.
Sure.
Like Gardevoir was the best like engine in the game. Then it got weaker.
Yeah.
And then with the printing of Rare Candy, it became absurd again.
Right.
Because like accelerating a turn early means that Mewtwo's not the only good target anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you have things like Giratina?
Giratina. Yeah.
You can go Giratina, you can go Gardevoir, Giratina, knockout.
Right. Like you can have like a second turn fully stocked Giratina ready to like dunk on somebody's whole life.
Crazy.
It's powerful stuff. What are your thoughts on like the real life Pokemon trading card game right now?
I really like it. I play it a lot. I will try to bug this man all the time to play with me.
Except for recently, because you don't like the deck I play.
Oh yeah. That's why I'm making a new one. That counts as your deck.
Listen, he's playing
We'll make
against
the rock, paper, scissors meta.
What Tyler must understand is that his father is the ultimate like trickster when it comes to trading card games and just any competitive games in general. If there is some sort of jank strat that he can employ that will make use of untraditional cards but still make people like not miserable but like mess with them in a unique way, your dad will be all about it, because that's the kind of stuff that's many of your Magic the Gathering decks.
Yes, like literally all of the ones that got posted on websites were my own builds. And they always pissed at least one person off.
Right.
Who uses this card? Why would you do that? Because it's cool.
Exactly. Tyler, speaking of cool cards, what is your favorite IRL Pokemon card right now?
That is very, very hard. Well, is it one that one I have, or just in general?
Why not one of each? One that you have and one that you'd love to have.
One that I have is probably a Mew EX Altar from Paldean Fates that
Rad.
You guys got me.
Oh, that.
Oh, is that Bubble Mew?
That's that guy.
Is that shiny Bubble Mew card?
Yeah. Uncle Bill the Fajita.
You guys are talking about it. Listen, that is a rad card. What is a card that you wish you had?
It's from one of the older sets. It's a Mimikyu and Gengar GX tag team.
Oh, that one's so cool.
Ooh, okay. I'll have to look this one up, because Mimikyu and Gengar are both rad.
Yeah, the alt art one's so cool.
Okay.
So Mimikyu sitting on top of Gengar. It's very, very cute.
And the Gengar is just doing Gengar things because he's Gengar.
A little trickster.
They're two of his favorite Pokemon, and they're in the same card. Like, you can't really beat that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both incredible. Is there anything that you would like to change about the IRL Pokemon trading card game, Tyler?
Okay, so first,
he's prepared.
We ban his deck.
Rude.
Second, we get rid of a card called Badoo.
Yeah, that card's broken.
Can we get rid of the whole Pokemon?
We could probably get rid of Badoo, and not many people would care.
Yeah.
Like 4 people might be.
Flame Shield prepared. Somebody somewhere is ready to murk me now because I said that. But
that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Hey, at least Badoo's gone.
Yeah. Well, wow. Well, I loved you, Dad, but Badoo is too much of a problem. Even trade.
Net positive.
Wow. All right, and welcome to Games of Our Lives podcast with our co-host Tyler. We would have called Babylon, but he's gone.
He's no longer with us. In the arms of the angels.
You just on my grave, you just see like a carved Badoo face with like X's for eyes.
Oh no! Oh,
a fair trade is a fair trade. That's what it says on the tombstone.
Talk about value.
Yeah, it's really like all I have to say. There's a couple cards that I really like. I really like Dusknoir.
Okay.
Very good card, very cool card. There's not much other cards that do
Yeah,
anything
Dusknoir
like
does.
that. In fact, I don't think there's any other cards.
I mean, the one that evolves into it, but that's it. At least right now. There are old ones that used to do things like it, but I don't think they were as good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really it.
Are there any cards that you're looking forward to with the new set that's coming out? I don't know if you've looked at any of like the pre-release spoilers or anything, but is there anything you're looking forward to with this Dual Destiny set that's coming out?
Uh, I don't know. I don't really think so. I know there's one card that
There's one card I know you're going to play because it'll completely destroy my deck. The Team Rocket's Tower one that shuts off the abilities of colorless Pokemon.
might.
Noctowl just doesn't work anymore, and now my deck falls apart, and then you just destroy me.
There's one set in either that set or the next set,
Oh,
which is a Psyduck. It completely counters my deck.
Is that the Misty Psyduck?
No, the Misty Psyduck doesn't do it. It's a regular Psyduck.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
It stops from putting counters onto Pokemon, and the entire point of his deck is putting counters on the Pokemon.
Yeah.
So it just.
Oh, does Psyduck's like oblivious?
But that just means you add Charizard, and now all of a sudden you just attack with Charizard. So
if you could throw a Charizard at your
here's
problems,
the plan that we've been working on for when those cards come out, so that he can still, beat people up figuratively, of course.
Of course, we'd never encourage anybody to assault anybody else. That's
right. The bats that's in the car is for baseball only.
Exactly. Exactly.
What? Who said that?
I think that was Casper.
Casper? Yeah, dude, Casper be saying some things. Yeah,
Ooh,
anything else in here that you're these are all in Japanese.
There was one card, a Yanmega EX.
Oh, that one's cool.
I really, really like it because there's a card in the current format called Pheasantipity.
Yeah.
And it's in almost every single deck in the game.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's in every deck.
Yanmega one-shots the Pheasantipity. Which I
Okay.
think is going to be very, very helpful for anyone who plays it. Since you just get free 2 prize cards. If you have Boss's Orders, which lets you switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon if they're active. So yeah, those 2 cards really go together.
Very cool.
There's the Team Rocket deck too, but I don't think the Team Rocket deck's going to be very good.
Listen, all I know about the Team Rocket cards that are coming out is that there is a Team Rocket's Moltres, and it looks so good. It is probably going to be like the chase card of the set, if not one of them. And it is just a very.
There's going to be a couple. The Team Rocket's Pokemon in general, I could see a lot of people going for.
Sure.
There's also a Team Rocket's Zapdos, also a Team Rocket's Articuno. I'm so pissed that they have a Team Rocket's Ampharos. That's not fair.
Hey, you know what?
Nothing wrong.
It's okay because here's the thing. None of us are going to be able to find the cards anyway. Because that's how Pokemon trading card game works in the year of our Lord 2025.
Listen, man, we know a guy.
Listen, just because you know a guy who might know a guy.
I mean, we are friends with a card shop owner, which means we might have a chance. Maybe if we're lucky,
it's true.
Have a chance.
That's true.
Because if he's having a hard time getting cards sometimes, then that says a lot.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's looking through the spoiler. The cards that we were both excited that Energy Recycler is coming back.
Yeah, very good card.
I like the Ethan's Typhlosion. I'm curious about that. I want to see it. Ethan's Typhlosion looks pretty neat. That's what I was interested in. That and the Ho-Oh.
Okay, yeah. I can see that.
Also, the Team Rocket's Bomb is pretty cool.
Can we just agree that Team Rocket in general just
Why are they still the
so
best
cool?
villain group? Why?
It's because they're the most real. Okay, they're the most just like
they are the most believable. They're like in it for money, which is like they're not looking to, like, Giovanni wants to like do the whole I own the world thing, but like he wants to own the world through like economics more
right
than
like
any of the other groups do. All the
the
other ones
other
are
groups are like
I'm make the death laser out of a Pokemon and then steal everything. Blah.
right. I'm gonna
melt everything, or I'm gonna cover everything in water.
I'm gonna warp us into another dimension and then become the dad of that universe. Like, all right, Cyrus, go into your different dimension and never come back. Nobody likes you, especially in the Pokemon trading card game Pocket when you're used against me, and then you KO my Pokemon and it makes me cry. That is not allowed.
Yeah, Cyrus, pick rocks, flip flops, pound sand, etc.
Go fly a kite. So, yeah.
While we're still talking about Pocket, what deck do you mainly play in Pocket?
So I'm bouncing back and forth between two decks right now. In TCG Pocket, I do have a Solgaleo Skarmory deck that I use.
Oh, the deck is so good.
It's plus like they're just like Skarmory's a cool Pokemon, Solgaleo's a cool Pokemon, and I haven't really messed around with Steel type or Metal type, whatever they call it in Pocket, and
Metal.
So I use that, but I also use a Zard Incineroar deck. So I have one that it's Shining Revelry Zard and Incineroar. And yeah, listen, rare candies make the world go round, and yes, that's two of my decks are based on rare candy shenanigans.
Good deck.
I'm surprised you don't play a Zapdos or Articuno.
Zapdos is a bad card now. It is just it's not good.
It was good.
It was solid at the beginning of the game. It is now not good.
It was good for the first two sets at least.
Like, I'd rather have Pachirisu EX just because you're getting that 80 consistent damage on turn 2. Even
3 energy is a lot when
Ew.
your starting attack doesn't do much.
It's 2 energy.
No, I'm saying for Zapdos.
Oh, for Zapdos, it's just like turn 3 to flip 4 coins is a high risk, and also like just doesn't do much ultimately. I have a deck that's like Pikachu EX, Pachirisu EX, and Zapdos. I have taken Zapdos out because I am never playing Zapdos over Pikachu or Pachirisu in that deck.
That's fair.
So, like, as much as I love Zapdos obviously, my favorite Pokemon. It is just until we get a new Zapdos that is even better than current Zapdos, I can't with him right now.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to talk about with the Pokemon trading card game there, Tyler?
I don't know. There's one more thing about Pocket. I really like how I haven't seen they have rotation, which I think is going to be fun. Because there's a lot of old decks that I will want to eventually make. Like one of them being Mewtwo, and Mewtwo in the first set of the game.
Yeah.
Not being gone will be very fun to play in the later game.
Yeah. That's the plus side of keeping the older sets, is that if people didn't have the cards early because they weren't playing early, they still have a chance to get them and play them before.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for your Games of Our Lives debut.
Yeah, thank you, Tyler.
Nailed it. Future broadcaster in the making. Everyone clap it up for Tyler.
Let's go. This is where in post I'll forget to put in cheering noise.
I believe in you, Bill.
I believe in me in terms of forgetting as well. Now, when we start a regular episode of the Games of Our Lives podcast, we usually open with a little thing called the news.
Oh,
And
yeah.
listen, today's going to be no different. I have 3 pieces of news for you. They are phenomenal pieces of news that are going to blow your mind.
Let's hear him.
Piece of news number 1, we've got a Legend of Aang movie with a release date of October 2026.
I will probably cry.
I am very excited. I mean, I don't know who's working on the Legend of Aang movie,
I'm
but
pretty sure it's the actual like show writers, so it should be good.
so pretty pumped about that. I mean, Avatar: The Last Airbender is just one of those like one of one television shows that is just incredible start to finish. Matt, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
If you could be a bender, what type of bender from Avatar would you be?
Okay, this is an if then type of answer.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I would probably like to be an earthbender because I feel like it has the most direct like usability, like being able to just be like, I have a house now, I made it just now
Sure.
because I can do that. Pretty cool.
Yeah, rad.
But if I was like Iroh and I borrowed ideas from other bending styles, because like Iroh learned techniques by borrowing techniques from the other bending like types. Like
Right.
he learned the lightning redirection technique by borrowing how water benders moved water. He used that as like because like water and electricity flow in similar ways. There's actually really good writing.
Yeah.
He used the technique they used to like flow the water around to like flow electricity around.
Yeah.
So he learned how to redirect lightning without zapping himself in the process. If I could do stuff like that, like borrow ideas from other types of bending, I think I'd want to be a waterbender.
Okay. Yeah.
Because being able to like borrow airbending to like use like hydraulic pressure as a way to like float around, or like using heated water as a way to power things like steam, like that would be cool. Like that would be so useful. But anyways,
I think I would go waterbending as well.
and you can like heal people, which is like
Right. Pretty rad.
come on. Yeah.
All you have to do is like this over the ouchie, and then boom.
And then they're better.
Thank you. It's that easy. Some say that works even without waterbending. Maybe I'll have to try it someday.
Your patients in the hospital are just like, hey, oh, you have an ouchie? All right, you're better.
And they're like,
my leg is still broken.
yeah, that
like,
did
nah.
nothing. I can still see the bone. What are you talking about? Nah, Scoot, you're healed.
All right.
Miracle performed.
Bye-bye.
Next piece of news.
Yeah.
So the Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Cons, they have a feature that's been revealed, a locate feature. So if you're missing a Joy-Con, you can like fire up the Switch 2 and it'll like do like a little chirp and vibrate. So you'll be able to find your missing remote.
It already did that though.
Oh, did it? I had no idea.
The difference
does the
is
Switch
it a
one
sound from the Joy-Con? If the Joy-Con makes a sound,
the
like,
Joy-Con makes a sound.
Okay, the way it worked before was they would make the Joy-Con vibrate, and it worked. But if it's covered in like blankets and stuff, you're like,
it plays a little jingle.
Is it like a Ring camera where it's like bow bow bow?
Now you're asking questions that are above my pay grade. We are gonna have Doug Bowser on the next episode, obviously, to answer those types of hard-hitting questions. But I'm guessing
that man feels useless. Where's Reggie?
Listen, you'd think a guy with the name that powerful would have a heavier hand in the Nintendo pot, but
Or just like a heavier hand in a conversation and would like say things that, like not like a robot. I swear to God, that guy is an NPC.
That's because a lot of CEOs are just NPCs these days.
He replaced Reggie. Come on.
Yeah, and
You
Reggie
gotta do
was a
better than that.
CEO from a different era, a goated era, an era where people's bodies were Reggie. But now they're just Doug. And no offense to like listeners who are named Doug, but Doug is just
Not Reggie.
it's not Reggie. It's simple as
Reggie
that.
Fils-Aimé was built different.
And Doug Bowser is just named. End of story.
All right. Round 3.
Question though. Should we also implant this technology, locate features that is, on things like pets
Parkies.
or children?
Ethical concerns abound, but sure.
Like as a parent, like you'd be like, press a button and like your kid starts jingling. Like, where'd Tyler go?
I see so many problems with this.
Listen, sometimes I would like to have that for my patients. Like, where did my patient go? Whoop, whoop. And they start a
Like
jingle
a door lock feature, like
yeah, exactly.
I can't walk. Yeah, sorry, we installed brakes.
Oh no, just overriding patient systems. Last piece of news. And this one is in regards to a little video game you might have heard of called Super Smash Brothers Melee. So there was a recent tournament in Super Smash Brothers called Full House 2025. And there was a match between two players, both playing as Fox McCloud on Pokemon Stadium.
The way this ends is so dumb.
And Pokemon Stadium apparently has a little bugged part of the map that during one of the transformations, if you hit the right combination of buttons and or techniques near this tree, you will clip through the tree and fall through the bottom of the map. And that happened in a tournament match. And
not just in a tournament.
it was finals, right? It was the finals.
It was finals, and it was game 3, and the guy who fell through was winning that game. He was up by like 80% or something, if I remember correctly. And he is the formerly number 1 ranked player on the planet. And the caveat here is the way that they used to run the tournaments is they had a hacked version of the levels where it would just stay PS2 layout and not have transformations. And that's part of why they got rid of that and we're using the hacked version. And then Nintendo in the past year was kind of like, about that modding our games thing.
Play the game as is, or we will banish you to the Shadow Realm. Yeah,
so like tournaments have been kind of like, if we're like gonna try and run events on a yearly basis, probably should make sure Nintendo doesn't want to murk us in the alleyway. So
sure.
Yeah, we'll just use it that way. And like sometimes you get really hype moments because like someone lands on a windmill and they get a true combo off the windmill and they like jump up, wave dash on one of the blades on the windmill and then up smash. You get something cool. Other times you get, oops, I wave dashed through the ground and died.
And
in the finals.
And this is what happened. Do you think that this is going to lead to like that stage being banned in tournament play?
No. There's so few legal stages in Melee that if they got rid of that, it would actually screw up the math of running a bracket in a best of 5.
Really?
Yes.
So
you would run out of counterpickable stages, and it would screw up the meta. Like they need that stage.
I mean, is this something that happens so infrequently that it's just like a freak thing that it happened?
Everybody knows that it can happen, and there's actually even better. There's a couple of ways it can happen because the collisions, it has to do with collisions and with specifically like wave dashing because you're inputting a jump and an air dodge. So you have like this weird intangibility effect that happens for just a moment. And because like the polygons, like they may touch, but there may be like, you know, there's that tiny little gap between my fingers at the top there.
Yeah.
If you just like fall into a seam the wrong way while sliding,
You'll
the
flip all
game
the way
might let you
through.
through the seam. And since it's solid, it's not coded as like a pass-throughable platform. You
Right.
can't jump back through it.
Ooh.
So it's like an issue like that. It's not. It's weird because like it's the polygons are like connected, but the way the game reads is weird. There's a bunch of issues with that one stage. On the right side of the stage, and specifically the right side of the stage, the way the ledge works is like it's slightly raised,
Oh.
and normally you can just walk over those like a stair,
Yeah.
right? On this one you can't because it's not coded as the same type of ground.
Mm.
So you can run straight at that, and you will just maintain running.
Oh. That's
So there like people will try to like tech roll away. Like you'll get in like you have like the ledge like this, right? And
Yeah.
they'll land here and try to roll away, and they'll get caught on the lip of this, and they get stuck right here, and then they go up smash, you're dead.
Wow.
So like there's a lot of problems with that stage. Because the ledge is flat, but there's a little lip underneath it like this.
Yeah.
Like you can get caught in here and not grab the ledge, and you'll go like doop, and just get caught underneath it. You can fall through the tree. There's the one where you have the windmill with the water and like the little pond area. And there's like an area in the bridge that you can just clip through because the bridge isn't like perfectly connected to the water. So there's a similar problem to the tree thing that you saw. In a million ways. That stage is so broken, but they need it. That's the crazy part.
There aren't less broken stages that they could replace it with?
No.
That's crazy.
Because you're looking at like freak accident type deals on that stage.
Right.
As opposed to like the stage is always broken. Like, for example,
Gotcha.
they used to play on Mute City, but there are cars that hit you. They used to play on Rainbow Cruise, except you're flying around and can get stuck under platforms that you can't pass through, and you're constantly moving around in space, and you're playing just as much of a platformer as you are a platform fighter. They used to have, at one point, Congo Jungle, except for you've got the barrels and the ground you can
traps.
pass through, so there's a bunch of weird things that happen there. Poke Floats was a legal stage at one point. But it's Poke Floats. Come on, are you kidding me?
You know what? Nintendo, bring back Poke Floats, you cowards.
Well, that stage was absolutely amazing. It's just terrible for a competitive match.
Incredible.
The hype was amazing. There were some absurd things that happened because of that.
Oh, I bet.
Also, the best version of that stage is the one where you had a Goomba. Just saying. Anyways, that was in the adventure mode.
Okay.
But yeah, it's kind of bad. Anyways,
that's fair.
Carry on.
So that's pretty much it for the news this week.
All right, everyone, have a good week. Nice to see you. All right, same time, same place next week.
Deuces. Just kidding. We're talking rather about a video game that is very near and dear to both of our hearts. A game that, listen, it's the Pokemon trading card game for the Game Boy Color. Matt, what is this game all about?
This game is all about collecting Pokemon cards and becoming the Pokemon Master. And punching Imakuni in the face whenever you're granted the opportunity.
Now, who the heck is Imakuni?
You know what the worst part is, Bill?
What's the worst part?
Imakuni is a real person.
Oh, he is a real person, yes.
Yeah.
Imakuni
like
is a Japanese comedian, I believe. Like, imagine... so, our audio listeners have no clue what is happening here. But Matt is showing the intro on his Nintendo Switch of the Pokemon trading card game. So
Can you hear that?
I can't hear it at all.
Oh, we're gonna fix that.
So while he's fixing that, the Pokemon trading card game pits you, the player, in a semi-traditional Pokemon adventure where you are trying to defeat the 8 gym leaders. And then face off against the Elite Four. And you also have a rival character. There are very many mirrors to like the original like Pokemon Red and Blue. But we are doing this in Pokemon card form.
Yeah, they did a really good job of making analogs to the original games, like you just said. I think my favorite is the fact that they built in the professor in the lab.
Yeah.
Um, it's really cool. Oh man, how do I even explain how much I love this game?
Listen, they
I
give
mean,
you a rival who's kind of a jerk to you.
he's literally Gary Oak, but he just plays with cards instead.
Right. Like Ronald is Gary Oak, except this Ronald doesn't get as heated or commit as much as you
Never
would
goes full
like.
unicorn.
Never goes full unicorn. It's crazy. It's
Oh
almost a
man,
shame to see, really.
yeah. It's cool though because I don't know about you, but like when I was a kid, when I was like Tyler's age and younger,
Yeah.
and I was trying to play with the Pokemon cards, like they were really, really hard to get because it was like so popular.
Mm-hmm.
And like there was no like organized scene for this really outside of there are events that pop up at toy stores sometimes.
Right.
Like I only went to an actual event at a store once, and I remember that because my opponent was playing with cards that were in Japanese because he got Japanese cards before they got to the US,
Oh, wow.
and he had like printouts of like what the cards did in English.
That feels so illegal.
And like it shouldn't have happened, but they were like, "Yeah, sure, they're Pokemon cards. Go for it, man." So I
That's
was getting beat by the Team Rocket set before the set came out in the United States.
that's
And
just crazy.
I was a little kid and I was like, "What is going on right now? I can't even read my opponent's cards." And he was like a teenager and I was just like, "What is going on? I have no idea what's happening." And then my mom was like, "Well, yeah, that sounds like a pretty terrible experience." And I never went back.
Yeah.
So, like, I just had cards, and I had cards get stolen at school because everybody was stealing each other's stuff because it was so hard to get the cards.
Sure.
They got banned from my school because of it.
Yep.
So, like,
Same
I didn't
here.
have a way to really play the game against anyone. Like, my brother and I eventually built decks, and we would play sometimes. But we didn't even really understand the game for the most part. And when we got the Game Boy Color game, my brother wasn't as into it, but I was obsessed. I love that game. Hence I made the like LP on my channel, and I made the guide on how to farm packs when they added it to the Switch Online for Game Boy. And oh god, the soundtrack. Can we talk about the
Listen,
soundtrack?
the
Man,
soundtrack is about as like peak Game Boy Color you're gonna get. It
they did so much with the Game Boy Color sound chip. Oh
it
my
it is
god.
very similar to me, to like the Mario Golf and Mario Tennis games. Um, but like everything fits perfectly. The music has this intensity. It is music that does not sound very Pokemon-y, if
No,
that
it does
makes
not.
sense. Um,
Well, outside of the battle themes, I think it kind of does, but it's early Pokemon.
sure. Yeah. That makes
Like
sense.
the music in the gyms, for example, feels a lot like I could see all of them being like buildings you go into in the game. They're not like
Right.
town themes, but like the Goldenrod, like casino, whatever it's called,
The Game Center or
game center. Yeah, I think it's the game center. Like it, they all sound like they could be themes for that,
sure.
except for like the water gym, and I could see that just being like a town theme,
Yeah.
like an ocean town theme or something.
Now there are a handful of gym leaders in the game, 8 to be approximate. Um,
Yeah, my hands look like this too.
do you have a favorite gym that you remember playing?
Oh god, I have a least favorite gym.
Ooh, what's your least favorite gym?
Murray in the psychic gym. I freaking hate that guy.
He's a
I
jerk.
released a guide on how to beat him because I hate him so much.
Murray is a jerk. Psychic Pokemon are
But
just very strong in general.
if there was ever a gym that taught you to get good, it was definitely that.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that milling was a strategy
Mm-hmm.
until I played against him, and I could not figure out how to win. And then I realized what if I just copied what he did, but also played things that resisted psychic? So
Yeah.
I copied the like scoop up
Yeah.
technique, and then I like didn't have all the trainers I wanted, so I just threw in like Imposter Professor Oaks,
Love it.
and all of a sudden I was like, wait a second. If I just keep doing the scoop up thing and I have more cards in my deck,
You win.
he loses by decking, and Imposter Professor Oak will make him go through things faster. If he plays this hand out, I'm like drawing him cards, which is bad for me. But if he can't kill me,
Then it doesn't matter.
I'll win. And the first or second time I beat him, I won by like decking. I did not win because I killed him.
Yeah.
Because I did not have it in my brain at the time that the solution is just play fighting Pokemon that are weak to the psychic Pokemon and ghost Pokemon as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I figured that out, I was like, oh my God, why did I ever do the other thing? This is so much better. But it was crazy that like it. Oh, that was a very strong get good moment, because like he just absolutely dumpstered me the first like 5 or 6 times I tried, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? Like I don't even feel like it's possible.
That is how I felt when I was a kid playing the game. The fire gym
Ken.
Ken was a
Ken is another one I made a guide for
man.
because people complained about that boss fight.
Because you're going into this battle and like he's the fire type gym leader, so you're like, let me bring my water types. He's only gonna have fire types. This is a wash. And then he says, "Hello, meet my Pokemon, Chansey. It's going to ruin your entire life if you don't know what you're doing, because Chansey has a hilarious amount of hit points, does a lot of damage, and he does a lot of retreat shenanigans with Chansey.
Yeah.
So it can be tough to like pin him down and get the dub.
Yeah, didn't he have Kangaskhan, Chansey, and then a bunch of fire types?
Yeah, it was like Kangaskhan, Chansey. I think he had like Arcanine and Rapidash or something like that.
Yeah, the Arcanine is the one that was scary.
Right, but like even Chansey was scary because like Double Edge did 80 damage or something like that.
Yeah.
And then it also had an ability that prevented damage against it.
Scrunch.
Yeah, stupid move. Just a busted move.
Also, double colorless is just obscene. That card is too strong.
Incredibly powerful.
Crazy.
But
some fun things about the game that are different from the actual card game, just for note. You can play infinite supporters in a turn. So every single deck should probably start with 4 Professor Oak, 4 Bill.
It's an
Bill,
ideal
you are
opening.
the best card in the game.
An ideal opening hand is 3 Bills.
Ideal opening hand is 4 Bill, 2 basic Pokemon, and an energy for that Pokemon. And then you just spin the wheel.
I mean, honestly, when you're playing TCG on the Game Boy, you really can like rip through almost half of your deck in the first 2 turns if you're playing it right.
Oh my God. So let's see. You have 4 Bill, that's 8 cards.
Yep.
4 Professor Oak, that's 28 cards. So you could go through technically on the first turn of the game, if you draw right, you can go through 30 and actually, if you play energy searches and stuff like that, let's see, so that's another 4 cards out of the deck.
Right.
So we're up to what? 40?
Yeah, you can sort through about 35,
you start with
40
7,
cards.
So that's 47.
In
6 prizes. That's 53. That leaves 7 cards left in the deck, and I'm sure there's a way you can get those 7 cards.
Listen, and that's if assuming that you didn't find the cards you needed in the first 40 some odd cards that you're also running 4 of.
It's wild.
Because above all else, especially in like this game specifically, because
there's an item, Gambler. You could play 4 Gamblers. You can draw through the whole deck in 1 turn.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is just
You just have
crazy.
to get lucky with coin flips. If you get 1 or 2 coin flips with heads on Gamblers,
you're good.
You can go through the entire deck.
That's broken.
Oh, that's broken.
I mean, and not for nothing.
So fun, though.
Yeah. And there is a broken deck in the game that you can build.
Yep.
There are a couple of techniques that just, regardless of matchup, just win no matter what.
There is one place in the game where it doesn't work as well.
Where's that?
But the Elite Four, or sorry, what are they called? The Grandmasters.
Maybe.
The Grandmasters are good against Scyther and Hitmonchan, but they are not good against Electabuzz.
Right. Well,
Except for Zapdos. The Zapdos one is all luck based though, because the entire point of the Zapdos fight is it's just deal damage to random things.
right.
So what the best strategy is against them is to just drop Chanseys and Kangaskhan's on the bench and then hope that they don't hit your active.
Exactly. I still went through and
Energy removal is broken, by the way.
energy
Jeez, that card
removal
hurt.
is a super broken card. And the fact that you can, if you pull multiple of them on one turn, bam bam, like you hit a card like that on like turn 2 or 3, and they have
also,
like an ace.
Wind is way too strong. Plus power is way too strong.
Everything is broken in that game.
Yeah.
Like the balance does not exist if you know what you're doing.
And they had the same problem that Magic had, where like the Pokemon were weak, like the creatures were weak, but the spells, like the supporters
were
and
crazy.
And were crazy. But that's because like there was no like the deck building strategies didn't exist yet. Like if you look at the original deck lists that did really good,
right,
before there was a real competitive meta, there were so many decks playing 1 of this, 2 of that, when you really should have just been playing 4 of it.
4s of everything, right.
Like it's funny, if you go back in time, the Haymaker deck is still like the de facto best deck for the beginning.
Sure.
But going back in time with this knowledge and how metagames work, there are counters to it where you have like what was that magazine? Do you remember that magazine? They had like all the Pokemon card and Magic cards in like the prices.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what it was called.
It wasn't called Barons or something, but I think I got it at the store, Barons.
Maybe.
Well, I can't remember the name of it, but there was an article in it talking about how there were some people that thought that there might be a deck that shifted away from Hitmonchan towards Psychic.
Yeah.
And would use Jinx or something like that, but Jinx was not nearly as good as Hitmonchan.
Sure.
But like eventually someone figured out, oh, well, actually there is a deck that would counter that deck, but it's just bad against the other deck that was good. So
it was a coin flip whether you'd get that matchup or not.
Right. Mewtwo was what they were going to use.
Can we take
there was also the Mewtwo barrier deck.
Can we take a quick timeout?
Yeah.
Want some Pokemon related news really quick?
Yes.
GameStop made an announcement.
Oh, is this breaking news?
As of an hour ago.
Ooh, folks.
GameStop has announced that when Destined Rivals releases on May 30th, also that answers the other question, it's a week from Friday, they will only allow customers to purchase 1 of each product.
That's good.
This is to help ensure more fans receive the opportunity to access the latest expansion.
That is very good.
So now if scalpers are going to scalp, they have to do it as a group.
Okay. You know what? I think we need more businesses doing this limit setting regarding Pokemon cards. You're starting to see it in some places, but like not all Targets have something like that set up. Not all Costco's have something like that set up. So it's still kind of a free for all depending on where you are. But I will say that net positive. That being said, do you want to come with me to GameStop next Friday?
Man, if only. Give me like a month.
Matt, in a month
and a half.
In a month, Pokemon is going to be a thing of the past. It's going to be just Mario Kart World. Forever.
That's not true.
Forever.
We'll play that for sure.
Forever.
But Pokemon's not going to disappear.
That's true. It never will disappear. It's too important to us.
So what else is there to talk about in the TCG?
In the TCG game, so I mean, the game was still a baby fresh, like the trading card game was still a baby fresh thing when this video game came out. So there is a pretty limited card pool to pull from. So the things you could do with the game were a little bit on the limited side, but I think it starts as a great like introduction to the Pokemon trading card game.
There was what, 3 sets in the game, and then there were some exclusive cards.
Yeah, you had base, jungle,
Base,
and fossil.
and jungle, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But now there was a sequel to the game that was unreleased
yes.
in America. But there have been fan translations that have been done, and the sequel focuses on more of a Team Rocket aspect, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's Team GR, Great Rocket.
Team Great Rocket. And what's different about Team the Pokemon Trading Card Game 2 compared to 1? What are some like new additions and things like that?
Oh, well, for starters, they're actually just an entirely different team. Second, their plot, the plot of the second game, like in the first game, the plot is to become the best, right? Your goal is to get the legendary Pokemon cards or whatever. So when you beat the Grandmasters, you get access to
a Zapdos, Articuno, Moltres, and Mewtwo.
Yeah, so there's that. In the second one, the sequel game, Team GR goes to the island and just steals everybody's Pokemon cards. And they use like this magical machine where they fly over and they just like poof the cards away. And the only people that are allowed to have Pokemon cards are Team GR and people that play at their casino. So like you have to basically go to their casino. Somehow, I don't know how, but like somehow in the lab, like Professor Mason's lab, they like saved some cards somehow. I don't know how.
They're like,
I forget.
Please use these to get the cards back. Dies.
That's basically what it is. Except for he doesn't die. He's just like, now I'm sad.
Instead of yeah, okay.
So they send you off, and you have to go do what you did in the first game, but against Team GR now instead of gym leaders. Sure. And there's some cool stuff that they added. They added in the arcade. There's a bunch of random games. Like there's like a slot machine. You can fuse cards together in this machine every so often to make like it'll like make you a card. So if you have extras, you can fuse cards together to get other cards.
Interesting.
But like you don't get to choose; it's random, and it's just like, oh, you'll get your card. And like someone figured out exactly how you have to do it. There's like a sheet online on some.
There's like an algorithm for
game fact page
for like what cards provide what fusions.
Yeah. There's a coin flip mini game where like it's like, if you flip heads this many times in a row, you get this many coins back. So, like, you have your arcade coins. Yeah. So, like, you just sit there and mash that over and over and over and over and over with the fast forward stuff. I figured out an actual system to, like, optimize how fast you can do it. Mm-hmm. There's one that's, like, if you flip, like, 12 heads in a row or whatever, you get, like, some special card. I found out that card could be obtained another way, so after like 45 minutes of trying to get it, was just like, oh. Huh.
Well then.
I had like a bajillion coins at that point though, so I was able to go buy cards from the like return center.
So what was the best deck to use in that game?
Basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But I made a challenge for myself to play something else, and I found a really cool deck, and I say really cool, but it would probably be the most frustrating deck to play against ever. Because of course it would. I designed it. The purpose of the deck is there's a Dark Jolteon, and for like 1 or 2 energy, I forget because it's been a bit since I played it, but it's basically your opponent has to flip to attack you.
Oh.
Like flip heads, you get the attack. Flip tails, you don't.
Okay.
And there's another dark Pokemon that has like has an attack where it damages itself,
Mm-hmm.
but it does a lot of damage. So basically, you throw that in the lead, and you just like poke them for a while they're trying to flip heads, and then you just go switch and just knock out the
Bam.
thing.
Okay.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cool things you can do. It's weird though, because a lot of the Team Rockets cards are really bad.
Well, the Team Rocket cards, at least like in the real game, had the trade-off of like some of them having more powerful attacks, but their HP was much lower.
Right, and that low HP is like
Getting two-shotted by a Hitmonchan.
sometimes though, if you set it up right, because super effective is a super broken mechanic. If we're being honest, like
It's double
doubling
damage?
damage is crazy.
Yeah.
So conveniently, you can use this strategy to defeat one of the other things in the casino, which is they have like a what's the term for when there's like a fight and then a fight and then a fight and then a fight and then a fight? I'm
Like
forgetting.
a ladder, almost?
Boss rush.
Oh, okay.
It's sort of like a boss rush where like they're all named after chess pieces. So you have like pawn, and then you have like bishop, and then you have like knight and queen and king, and you have to like win through all these battles.
Yeah.
You get a bunch of coins for doing it. I did it once all the way through, and then was like, it's not worth doing again.
I believe in Pokemon that's called a win straight. That ladder? No. The win straight family, you have to fight 4 of them in a row in Generation 3.
I was thinking like a
Man.
card game, like a straight. Yeah, the Winstray family is the one where you walk in the door and you're like, wait, why did I do this? No.
We're like, you gotta
and then they
fight
kill
all
you.
4 of us. Let's go.
And then you're like, oh, I forgot to save and I died on the last one. No. That actually happened to me because I didn't know what was in the house, and then they just bopped me, and I was like, I need to save more
It's
often.
highly aggressive.
Yeah, seriously, like, lock the door, Jimmy. It's time to beat him up.
Then they have like a son that's hiding out in a cave later. Probably feral.
Just eats rocks.
Eats rocks and destroys your Pokemon team.
Yeah. Aggressive. But yeah, so basically, I never actually finished it. I'm still playing it. So I don't know how the game ends yet. I've gone through, one thing that's cool that they added, though, is there are fights where they have deck conditions.
Oh, okay.
So there's like a grass gym leader where she has like a rule that's like all grass Pokemon cannot be affected by status conditions.
Oh, okay.
And then she goes, by the way,
all of my Pokemon provide status conditions.
right. And then there's a condition in, I forget if it's the gym or her fight, where it's like, by the way, you can, like, there's another fight where it's like, by the way, you can only use grass Pokemon. She goes like,
so you can't just rely on one deck.
Right. So I had to make a new deck, which just became Scyther Pinsir.
GG's.
Shake my hand. Shake it.
Because Scyther's not like one of the most broken cards in early Pokemon, period.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I would just go grass energy, swords dance, colorless, double colorless, punch.
It's that simple.
Thanks for playing.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Shake my hand.
Just through tears. Thank you for
Shake
challenging our gym.
What a great thing. I can't wait to see the other gyms, though, because of it. It's really fun.
Yeah.
The beginning is, like, super weird because you're, like, you have, like, no understanding of what's going on at the beginning of the game because they just kind of drop you into the situation, and they're like, all right, go.
Now,
and you're like,
do you play as the
what
same
do I
player
do?
character from the last game, or is this... Okay.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, you're the same guy.
Okay. Is Ronald actually Team Great Rocket's, like, son?
I don't know. Maybe.
Find out, I suppose.
Yeah, it's possible. But yeah, it's a great game. Lots of fun.
Any other
Definitely
fun?
worth looking up the translation.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that one of these days. It's just too fun not to. Well, Matt, I think it's a little little time that I like to call
Oh, he's got a hat.
tip of the hat, wag of the
What
finger.
if my hat is a monster binder full of Pokemon cards?
I feel like you've had non-traditional hats in the past, so why stop now, you know?
I could wear a Charmander.
The Charmander can also be a hat.
There he is.
So, Matt, do you have a tip of the hat that you'd like to share with the folks at home?
So,
I had one, but now I cannot believe in the year 2025 I'm going to say this one. That's really funny, by the way. The fact that it's still balancing is impressive work. You don't even have to like remove it; it tips itself.
Yeah, it's a self-tipping hat, you see.
Is it a fedora?
God, no.
okay, well,
So sorry, your lady.
So yeah, your tip of the hat.
GameStop. God, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud.
GameStop really doing like a face turn these days.
Yeah, weird. Never thought this was going to happen.
Which means they're absolutely juicing us on some other aspect. Like there's no way they're just
it's desperation, I'm convinced.
they're not being good out of the kindness of their hearts. This is helping shareholders in some way, shape, or form.
yeah, it's helping shareholders
because people don't think GameStop is a joke.
They're
Or
still
a
a
pump
joke.
and dump scheme.
for the stock market.
GameStop is going to limit the number of things that people can buy for Pokemon products going forward because scalpers suck. Now, is it going to work?
TBD.
Maybe a little bit.
I think it depends on how much stock they get per store, right?
Probably,
It's going to be, they're limiting it to like, you can get one ETB per person.
Right.
You can get one blister special pack thing per person,
Mm-hmm.
or one box per person, or whatever it is.
Right.
You can buy 5 packs. That's the max for individual packs you can get.
Okay.
Apparently that was already a rule, but people were just going for the other stuff instead to juice it. But,
Sure.
you know, hypothetically, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
will it work? I personally don't think so, just because like scalpers already work in groups, but you know,
But hey, anything
if,
that
if
can
they're
help,
making it harder for scalpers to scalp, I will support them.
anything that makes a scalper's day worse is objectively a good thing. Because
Yes.
scalpers don't deserve love, respect, or anything but a stomp on the foot.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So yeah, tip of the hat, the GameStop there. Let's see, what am I tipping my hat to today? Today, folks.
I've got another one.
Oh, bring
Real
it
quick.
out. Bring it out.
Ty.
Tip of the hat to Ty for being a special guest here on today's episode of the podcast. Are you kidding me? Making his podcast debut, perhaps? Or his first intentional podcast debut?
Yeah, he popped in for like 10 seconds once, but
Yeah, huge tip of the hat to Ty for that. Tip of the hat to you,
Ooh.
Matt. Tip of the hat to you because, listen, after 74 years, Matt's finally coming out to visit.
hold on. Is it real?
Is what real? You coming out
Is
to
it
visit?
Is the state in which you live real, or is it an illusion? Was this you just hiding in a cave the whole time?
Yeah, no. I've just. Been
I will
around the
report
corner.
back. I will report back.
That's
I
right.
did learn that California was real.
California
So
was
that
real,
That was cool.
and now we're gonna learn about a much different location.
Yeah.
So,
What's a tornado, Bill? Can I experience one when I go out to see you?
fly in and find out?
If I fly in and then I fly out, but I didn't choose to fly out, I flew out because of the tornado. I get it. That's how this works. You're telling me to go fly into a tornado. I get it. Very good. Okay.
Hey, you know what? I'm just
We
saying.
got to experience an earthquake in California
It's true.
and forest fires in California. Why not experience a tornado?
It's called
Sounds
culture, Matt. Look it up.
I'm working on it, man. Okay.
Tornadoes are our culture.
I'm not ready to appropriate tornadoes. Okay.
I hope you never do. Wag of the finger.
Tornadoes.
The tornadoes.
No. Oh, wouldn't it be funny if it was also GameStop?
I'm sure they've done something that earns that wag, okay?
Yeah.
Ooh, I have a wag of the finger.
Wagging my finger at tariffs.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. My wag of the finger right now is Gearbox chief Randy Pitchford. So
Ooh. Okay.
So
is it because of his response?
So they announced that they're going to be raising prices of some
yes.
games to $80. So like for Borderlands 4 is going to be $80, and fans are like, that's dumb because raising prices in the gaming industry, it hurts gamers ultimately. And Randy says, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. And all I can say to Randy, wag of the finger, you bozo.
It's rough because, like, if you look at the industry right now,
a real fan would make it work. Gross. That is gross behavior. That is a yucky sentence. Because
it's a really weird place to be right now because, like, there is a very real problem where, like, running out of money and companies starting to fall apart and fail is real. And then there's the other side of it, which is the people at the top of these companies shouldn't be treating it like a regular investment because this isn't like a traditional company in the sense that, like, video games are not just a product, they're effectively a service. And it's an ever increasing, like, it's ever increasingly common that it is a service and not just a game, like a product.
Right.
Like, games have become services in a lot of places. Like, so you can't treat it like a regular business sometimes because of that. Because you have periods where you have a thing, you sell a bunch, and then you have nothing.
Right.
And then you try to drag out that as long as you can, but it's going to decrease as time goes on. And then you do that until your next spike, and then it decreases, as you know. So,
but to effectively say,
at which you release
like,
games is very low.
But to effectively say, like, you're not a true fan of Borderlands.
Oh, you can't no true Scotsman me into buying something.
Listen,
I am the target audience for the tech demo, and I'm still holding out strong. Now, if you get it because you have maybe expendable income that I don't, because my expendable income is going towards ensuring that children can eat. That and, you know, travel soccer team in the not too distant future, hopefully.
And a tornado insurance, of course.
Right. I mean,
first and foremost, sir.
If I die in a tornado flying in to see you in a month and a half, you know, I got to make sure that my family is protected.
Right.
So they're going to buy a trampoline for me to land on.
Free.
And I'll be fine.
Easy. Yeah.
Perfect.
Like that's how that works. If your plane is falling, if it lands on a trampoline, everyone survives.
Correct. Because you bounce.
Math,
and then they regain control of the plane.
That's just how that works. And you bounce as high up as you fell from. So you're just back up to 35,000 feet. It's just that trampolines are a real small target.
Oh boy. Is now a bad time to bring up physics? Anyways. I don't even know where we were going anymore because I got so into that, was thinking about it, and now it's
a Borderlands 4-man bad.
Oh yeah, bad.
So that's my wag of the finger.
Could wag a whole hand at him.
Ooh, shake a fist.
Catch these wagging hands.
Wagging. Did you have any other wags?
I was not ready to see that. I put my head down, picked my head up, and then I just hear like yodeling in the background. Just imagining you doing that at a mountainside. Anyways,
I do that sometimes.
I'm sure if I tried hard enough, I could wag at something. Do I wag again at the tech demo? No.
You could.
They'll expect that.
We've already
Oh,
seen it
here's-
coming.
All of the wags I have right now are ones I've already wagged at.
Fair enough. Listen, you don't have to have another wag. It's okay.
I mean, Watsy.
And
So easy.
they
Just
have like
keep
a
wagging.
they have a standing wag just
Yeah, there is a standing wag in their direction.
until morale
Perma
improves.
wag.
Until our morale improves. Wag to Watsy.
Listen, they come on, man. Like you're gonna take Final Fantasy and then juice it as much as you can. You're gonna take Marvel and then juice it as much as you can, but then not have the rights for the digital card game, and then have to release a second version of the Marvel set with in-universe characters because you did the dumb and didn't think to license the digital cards too. You dinguses.
Dinguses.
Wow.
Dingus behavior for sure. Matt, speaking of dinguses, what video games you been playing this week?
Oh man.
Has nothing to do
I
with
have been
dinguses.
playing. I haven't been playing video games a lot the past like month or so, really.
Fair.
I'm gonna start playing Throes of the Watchmaker, aka the DLC for Sea of Stars that came out literally today. I've also been playing Paper Mario with Gigi still. We have all 8 stars. It's about time for us to go storm the front and give Bowser some
Give him what for?
jumpy justice.
Ooh. Airborne assistance, if you will.
Jumpman.
That plumber up to something.
So many things.
Mostly jumping on
Okay.
Bowser's face.
Yes.
Oh, what have I been playing this week?
Yeah.
Listen, this has been my answer for like the last 3 or 4 episodes of the podcast.
Yakuza.
But it's been a very busy month and I've had very little time to play video games, which is
That's all right.
crazy. Listen, I haven't even been streaming on Twitch. It has been me cracking open my TCG Pocket in the morning and then playing a little bit of Yakuza. So we're playing Yakuza 4.
Dude, has it been 2 months since you streamed?
It's been a little while. I'm taking a little break until Mario Kart World comes out. Plus,
Not that I'm like looking this up right now, but you did get a follow 2 days ago.
I sure did. But outside of that, yeah. It's been about 2 months since my last stream. I find that recording the podcast is more rewarding for me than streaming. So I am focusing energy towards this instead of streaming for now.
Now tell me how you really feel.
Gross, I know.
We could turn this into therapy with Matt.
So it all started when my dad was asking me to cut down bushes for rupees in The Legend of Zelda on the NES. And now I'm hopelessly addicted to...
And now I'm here.
And now I'm here. Thank you, Uncle Shiggy.
Yeah. Sure. Thanks, Shigs.
Oh my god, Bill.
Huh.
If someone's an idiot in gaming, we can call them a Shigs boson. But it could be a Shigs boson.
Ooh, we can just call him a Shigs bozo.
Because you've got Higgs bosons. Those are particles, subatomic particles.
So,
Sorry, my nerd is showing.
So if you're like a really tiny loser, you'd be a Shigs bozo?
A Shigs boson.
Like not to run back the wag of the finger, but this Randy Pitchford character, a real Shigs bozo if you ask me. But
I love it.
but the thing is, like, Shiggy, I love Shiggy, and I owe so much of my life to him. He's not a bozo.
Now he's done a lot of bozo-tacular things, but at the same time, he also invented Mario.
Yeah, so like that, you kind of get a universal pass for that a little bit. Like until he
Yeah.
starts like murdering people in the streets. Um,
The lore for the first couple Mario games does actually have you murdering toads.
yeah, but the Toads were asking for it, to be fair.
Did Mario know?
That's a topic for another video. That's a great clickbait title, though. You
Yeah,
gotta save that one.
I'll keep it in my
Did
back
Mario
pocket.
know? And you gotta have like the
Mamma mia!
With like arrows pointing to blocks from every direction. Bright red ones, of course.
I hate YouTube thumbnails. They are terrible.
It's really bad.
I can't wait till the thumbnail for this video is me going
just
with just a bunch of red arrows.
oh my god. Yeah. Do you have any other final words before we wrap this puppy up? Again, this is terrible.
God, green screen.
God awful for both the audio listeners and the video viewers. Somehow. Okay. So Matt is holding up a binder filled with Pokemon cards. We're talking a Charizard.
That is a shadowless base set Charizard.
That is an OG Charizard.
Blastoise, Venusaur.
Blastoise, a Venusaur.
That last one is Mewtwo? Mew.
It's
the foil Mew promo.
It is a foil Mew promo.
Circa 1998.
Hey, that I believe came with the Pokemon the first movie, VHS, if I remember correctly.
I lied. 1999.
Yeah, I think that was for the Pokemon 2000 movie release.
Yeah. Well,
Pretty
the Mew in particular was 2000. All the other ones were 1999.
Yeah. Look at this
also,
guy.
Okay, I just got to show you one more.
Yeah. What are you showing me out of this magical binder?
The deck that Ty is trying to make me build is based around this card.
Big money, no whammy.
Come on.
Is that Joltik?
Yeah.
I think I have the Japanese version of that card if you want it.
Oh, me too. It's right next to it in this binder.
Oh, you have the full art?
Yeah.
Let's go. That is awesome.
There we go. Yeah.
Rad.
Go play the card game. I know it's hard to get cards sometimes, but Pokemon TCG is way more affordable than Magic. I said what I said. It's a really deep game that people probably are like, oh, it's baby's first card game, and sure it is. And then you actually start playing it, and you're like, oh my god, I'm getting destroyed. Why am I losing so bad? And then you figure out it's like playing chess and vintage Magic together at the same time.
Right.
It is a surprisingly deep game, and Pokemon, although I have a wag of the finger here could be banning players for stupid reasons at tournaments. Like the judge system in that game is worse, I think, than the judge system in Magic. And this is coming from a guy who has technically qualified to be a judge in both of those games. I can judge locals. I can't do anything past that in either of the games ever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's amazing to me how much more accessible Pokemon is than Magic and other games. And like, I'm not going to say that the Pokemon community is like faultless, because there are weirdos in every community.
Sure.
But it's been much nicer, generally speaking, than the competitive community was to me in Magic when I was getting into it. And I've heard horror stories about some other communities that I won't mention out loud for fear of getting attacked. But play the game. It's super fun.
It really is.
People are like, you have so much variety in the game because there are so many different Pokemon. There's like 12, 15 decks right now that you can reasonably go to a tournament with and do well.
Wow. And the nice thing about Pokemon, and this goes with the affordability thing, is there is an inexpensive version of just about every card that is in like standard play.
The only card that isn't right now is Pheasantipity. That's like $12, but that's because every single deck plays at least one. Every deck plays one of it.
But if that's if that's one of the more expensive trading cards for a competitive game, that is
it's like it is the most expensive card right now.
Like I remember
that I know of that people are like frequently playing.
I remember like 15 years ago when we were playing Magic the Gathering.
Oh my god, it was
Like
dude. My deck
you had
was a budget deck comparatively to a lot of the good ones, and my decks would still cost like $180.
well, like one of the best cards in the game at the time was Jace the Mind Sculptor, and that was like an $80
That card was-
card at the time,
Yeah, and it peaked at like about 100.
which is
Let me just check
crazy.
Limitless TCG and find the actual price to buy the deck that won the last tournament. Let's see. Tournaments, special event, Utrecht. First place was Dragapult. $67.80.
for a tournament winning deck. That is pretty nice.
For the literal best deck in the format. And 14 of those dollars is the Pheasantipity.
Wow, that's wild.
After that, the most expensive card is $6.50.
I mean, for a trading card game, that's very good.
Second place deck, $62. Same deck but different version. Third place deck, $71.
Wow, imagine paying more money to be worse at the game. Just
Fourth
tragic.
place deck, $58.
Okay.
Fifth place deck, $62. It's so much more affordable. Like if you do the $63, $69.
Nice.
I'm just going through different archetypes now.
We're-
This one's more expensive, but that's because it plays 2 copies of Pikachu EX. That adds $20. Those are $10 each now. Dang, I have 2 of those.
Well, Matt,
But the point I'm trying to get across is here. It's an accessible game. Comparatively, it's worth playing.
yeah.
Oh, I lied. Golden Go, sorry. I learned I've been saying all the names wrong. It's not Terrapagos, it's Terrapagos. Because, like,
The
Galapagos.
Galapagos, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not Goldango, it's Golden Go. But anyways. Yeah, that card's like $8.
Yeah, well, he's literally made
But that's
money.
so much cheaper. Like, Magic had, like, competitive decks that would cost you, like, $600.
Like, how much did Primetime cost? Back in
That card
the
was like
day?
$30 at one point.
Right, and you had to run 4 of them.
Yeah, I played 3 even when I was playing primetime decks, and I would play cards that searched for it instead.
So,
Yeah, go play some Pokemon. Great game. Community is so far in the past couple of years has been great. I learned a lot. Ty's learned a lot. A lot of fun.
yeah.
Go play the game.
Well, thank you, Matt, and Tyler as well for hanging out this episode. Really appreciate you coming here and talking Pokemon here. If you all want to see what Battlon has to say, you can go follow him on Blue Sky, and he also puts up YouTube videos about helping you out in video games, and also if you dig deep enough, you could find some Let's Plays. Unless those are buried forever. I don't know.
Some of them are, there's a lot of unlisted ones.
You can also follow the show here at The Games of Our Lives. You can follow us here on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. We also upload shorts to YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And you can also follow the show on Blue Sky. And my name is Bill. And you can follow me at Bill the Fajita on Blue Sky and here on Twitch. Thank you all so much for listening and or watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.